Hello and welcome to another episode of Witchfinder's Gaming Vault. Today I'm going to be looking at an MSX game called Turmoil. Let's take a look at the fact file for this one. Turmoil was released in 1986 in UK territories, but it's actually a conversion of a Spectrum game that was originally released in 1984. It was published by Bug-Byte Software and the developer of the MSX version is Len Nicholson. The price I paid for it was just £2.70. I bought it off eBay about a year ago. And the current going rate for this version is unknown as there's no copies of this budget version on eBay at the moment. However, there is a version that's in variant packaging in a clamshell for about £10 plus. I do think, however, that you can probably pick this budget version up for whatever price it opens at on eBay, as that's what happened to me. I think I paid £1.20 for it plus £1.50 postage and packing. And I've picked up a few MSX games for the opening bid price, so I don't think they're particularly desirable. Time to take a look at the packaging then, but as I just mentioned, I have been picking up a few MSX games on eBay recently, and I like this packaging for the Bug-Byte stuff, so I also picked up all of these. These cost roughly about £3 each, and yeah, the idea is I'm going to try and collect a full set of Bug-Byte MSX games on cassette, which isn't that challenging really, because there's only 7 or 8 of them, and I've already got 5, so I'm off to a pretty good start. And obviously I intend to review all of these on this series at some point in the future. Anyway, so here's the packaging. As you can see, it says Turmoil at the top. It's got an image on it of a man in a car being chased by some angry looking foreigners. This is a bit un-PC, it has to be said, this packaging. It's got the Bug-Byte logo at the bottom. Obviously it would have been fine at the time, but nowadays you'd consider it to be probably mildly racist, I suppose. So as you can see, it also says Turmoil on the spine and the MSX 64K and the Bug-Byte logo. On the back we've got some screenshots which are a little bit blurry, but you can quite clearly see that it's a platform game, and it says cartoon animation with 26 screens of slippery arcade fun featuring Mick the Mechanic, several leaping foreigners and lots of oil. Here's a quick look at the cassette then. As you can see, pretty basic. It's just a white label with Turmoil and the Bug-Byte logo printed on it, and that says there it was released in 1985, but I'm pretty sure it was 86 when it was actually published. So let's move on to the instructions, and the inlay is just printed on one side, so that's all you get. It's just white on the inside, so very basic sort of presentation of the instructions. It says it's by David Turner and conversion by Len Nicholson, so presumably David Turner did the Spectrum version that it's a conversion of. And it says Mick has been captured by swarthy oil-rich foreigners. They've put him to work and given him a murderous bodyguard. You can help them escape by filling the cars with oil and driving away. Collect the oil in the can and pour it down the grid bottom left of the screen. The can holds a few drops. You can use these one at a time to build a car or act as a trap for the bodyguards. Tools which appear should be put in the workshop bottom right to get a bonus. It's not easy as the untidy tools make the guards angry. When you've put enough drops of oil down the grid, you'll drive off to the next screen. The oil collector will still be in the can even if you lose a life, and to swing on a rope you have to stand on a flashing blue square. And it's also got the controls, which is joystick or keyboard, and the loading instructions, which are there and don't need to be repeated really. So that's it for the packaging. All I need to do now is set up my MSX and get the game loaded. The game's loading up then, and here is a loading screen. I wasn't necessarily expecting one, but here you go. It's got the Bug-Byte software logo on it and the bug that represents the Bug-Byte software, and it says Turmoil is loading in a big exhaust fume bubble cloud thing coming from a car. And otherwise it basically just seems to be a recreation of a level from the game, because you can see the score and lives and etc across the top, and some platforms and ladders and things. So interesting loading screen, but not too bad I suppose. I wasn't really expecting one, to be honest, so any loading screen is a bonus. Right then, the game's loaded and it took a while, and here's a title screen. As you can see, Bug-Byte Software present Turmoil featuring Mick Mechanic and the Arabs. And there's some instructions on how to play the game there that are being cycled through, some keyboard controls in the bottom right hand corner which I won't be using, and then it jumps into a run through all the different levels. There are 26 levels, each one corresponding to a letter of the alphabet. You can't break out of that once it starts, by the way, so that's a little bit annoying. I have had a couple of playthroughs of the game just to familiarise myself with it, so I know what I'm doing. There is a training mode as well. I'm not going to go into that because, well, we'll cover that later. But the other things to note from the title screen are that it was originally by David Turner. The MSX version is by Len Nicholson. Oh, I've got to go through all this again now. little bit tedious, but let's get the game started now before that goes again. You can't press fire button to start, you have to press S to start. So let's get on with it. So I am Mike, or Mick the mechanic. I'm the blue guy. I've just picked up an oil can thing, and I couldn't work out what I was doing to start with. But what you've got to do is go to the top of the screen where the oil's dropping down and collect it. You have to jump on a trampoline there. Oh, this is going to be a bit tasty. Yeah, okay, there goes a life straight away. Yeah, so you've got to get the oil can, jump up. Oh, you'll see this happening a bit. This game is tough. So yeah, you've got to land on this trampoline in the middle of the screen and hope that the Arabs don't get in your way, because you lose a life if they do, as you've already seen several times already. You've got to go to the top of the screen. This is already becoming quite challenging. You've got to time your landing on the trampoline so that it propels you upwards. There we go, and hope that they don't do the same. So finally, up to the ladder, and you've got to go to the top of the screen. You can collect several drops of oil in the oil can, and then you need to drop down. Ooh, didn't really want to do that. Didn't want to do that either. Timing the landing on the trampoline can be quite tricky. Oh, I'm all over the place. Finally. Oh, I was trying to drop a bit of oil to capture the Arab there, but basically you've got to get to the bottom of the screen and drop the oil into the grid at the bottom of the screen to start to fill up the car, and the car appears once you start filling it up. There's some very dicey collision detection with the platforms in places, and once you've got enough drops of oil to complete the car, it'll drive off and you'll complete the level. So I finally managed to do it. Only got one life left now, and then you go on to the next level where you've got to do the same, but there's more things to deal with. This time you've got to swing across a rope. You do that by pushing up on the little blue section, blue block with the arrows pointing upwards. Again, fill up the oil can, and then back. You don't actually need to do this now, you can just go here just to show what happens when you drop. Oh, now I've landed on the oil myself and died. So yeah, the oil gets you, but the idea is that you can drop the oil. Let's start another game. You can drop the oil on the ground and use it to. Oh no, that's not going to work. Use it to kill the Arabs temporarily. They do come back. Let's try again. Yeah, that's quite annoying. This trampoline is quite annoying. I can't even work out what's the best point to hit the trampoline. Oh, there you go. That was the best point. So I'm already in a better place than I was the first time I played. Just got to pick my moment to go back across the screen. Oh, that was lucky. That wasn't though. Oh, this trampoline is so infuriating. Oh. Got me straight away there. There's some quite ropey collision detection in this game. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, when you die, I did say this in the instructions. When you die, you don't lose the oil from the oil can, so I can actually just go and put that in the grid, or the drain, whatever it's called. No, again, just awful. Awful timing. So there we go. Let's just go and try and get... No, he's jumped up and got me. You just can't predict what's going to happen. And this is the first level, remember. It's not a good sign for how tough the game is. There we go. There goes another life because didn't land on the trampoline at the right time. And the Arab got me. Managed to get it right that time, but predicting the landing on the trampoline and also not clashing with an Arab is very difficult. Now they're just bouncing around below me. Probably better if I just go off this side of the screen, I suspect. Just drop an oil drop down there. Hopefully that'll show what happens when they come across the screen. There you go, that's what I was trying to show. Right, get some oil in. The other thing you can do, and I may as well demonstrate this because I'm not going to do it very often, is you can get rid of the oil can and pick up these tools. And if you do that, you can take the tools over to the far side to this workshop, drop them in there for bonus points. Why you'd want to even try and attempt to do that, given how difficult the game is already, I don't know. Now I haven't got the oil can. I need to go back and get the oil can. There's probably a pattern that these Arabs follow that you can work out if you play the game long enough. They obviously do home in on you to some extent. Oh, that was good timing. When it works, it looks really good actually. So while I'm trying to do this level again, got enough oil now, I just need to get back down to the right spot and not get caught by the Arabs. There we go. So I've got more lives left this time at least to get further into the game. So yeah, graphics very simplistic, single colour sprites. The backgrounds aren't too bad, they're quite nicely done, but I think this game did originate on the Spectrum. Well, it said there was an original author. I'm guessing that guy wrote it for the Spectrum, because porting games from the Spectrum to the MSX was generally a pretty easy thing to do, as I understand it. Similar processor and everything, and comparable graphics, although the graphics are more washed out on the MSX than they would have been on the Spectrum. So yeah, it's a Spectrum port, and the graphics are pretty simple. The animation's okay, it's a bit flickery at times. There's no colour clash to speak of, so that's pretty good. There you go, that's the second level completed. I think the second level is actually easier than the first, because you haven't got to deal with that trampoline. So here's the third level. Movement is pretty good, the controls respond quite well. In-game sound is very minimal, just a few spot effects here and there, and there's no music or anything like that. Again, you know, it's a Spectrum port, so you wouldn't necessarily expect it. So you just got to pick your timing right here to go and drop these drops down the grid again, and then get back up to the top and do the same again. So you've got some moving platforms which you've got to just time the walk across to make sure you don't fall down and get caught by the Arabs. So I would actually say that the second and third levels are probably easier than the first. Sorry, yeah, second and third levels probably easier than the third. Then it gets difficult. I've never got past this next level, because the thing you'll notice here is there's no obvious grid to drop them in, and you've actually got to drop them down these conveyor belts. Drop the oil down the conveyor belts. You've also got to deal with the Arabs, of course, who are just going to get me. I couldn't do anything about that. He came up the ladder and got me. Yeah, so this is where it gets more difficult, to say the least. I've got a few lives left, so I will hopefully make a bit of progress, but never got very far on this level so far. So I've got some oil now, so drop that down there. I caught him. That was quite nice actually. Get a bit more oil while I'm here. They do respawn, as I think I mentioned. Drop some oil there as well. So I've got a little bit of leeway now. So what you've got to do, oh no, this guy's going to come up here. No, he's not. Go off the edge of the screen, drop the oil down the conveyor belt. I'm going to get caught here. Oh, he's gone the other way. I think I've still got one left as well. No, maybe not. No, I haven't. But I think the oil's making its, yeah, it's made its way down while I was talking about that. And yeah, I'm stuffed now. I can't go anywhere. But yeah, it's made its way down all those conveyor belts and started to build up the car. It's a bit weird that you can't see the car to start with. It would be better if you could see the car and then it changes colour when you fill it with oil, rather than just being a blank space that turns into a car. Bit weird. I mean, I've got another Arab come on the scene now. There's no way I can avoid this, surely. I can't get back to the oil. It just seems completely unfair. I mean, they're not really coming to get me, but also I can't make any progress either until they move. They're just never going to move, are they? Better off just killing myself off and trying to go back and do the same thing again, I think. So this is a bit of a race to get to the... Oh, didn't pick up the oil can. Oh, that was a critical mistake. So the best thing I can hope to do now is wait for some tools to appear on some of these other shelves. Doesn't look like they're going to, though. I guess what you can try and do is tempt the Arabs away. Can I walk up those stairs as well, I wonder? Oh, here's a tool, so while I'm hanging around doing not much, Let's drop that off. I wonder if you can walk up this. Right, okay, let's try this. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but never tried this before. They can walk up those stairs. I wonder if I can. Go down here. I can. Oh, that's handy. So now I've got the oil can, but now the Arabs are very near to me. Can I walk down it? I can't. I didn't realise you can walk down the stairs as well. That changes things a little bit. Not a lot, because I've still got to get past these two angry Arabs. Got past one. Come on, come down there. There we go. I'm learning as I go here. As I said, this is the furthest I've got in the game. I've usually not even lasted this long, so I need probably 3. Oh, that's not fair. I dropped that, but then walked away from it, but it killed me. Walking into your own oil drops is a bit annoying. I might have enough here. Just go over here and drop the... No! Oh! What you don't want to do is land on the conveyor belt and then drop the oil, because you then get rolled into it and die. So I got a little bit further there. I don't want to show you the first 3 levels again, but what I'm going to do is try and get to the 4th level and have a bit more of a try and see if I can get a bit further. I'm just taking a quick moment to say thanks to all my channel members, whose names you can see on screen now in my Supporters Hall of Fame. If you're enjoying this video and would like to support my channel, then why not become a member yourself? For a monthly fee starting from just 99 pence, you can get access to special membership perks such as your name in the Supporters Hall of Fame on every video, early access to most of my content, member-only polls, and even choosing games for me to play in future videos. If you're interested, then please click on the join button below this video for more information. Right then, back on level 4, and I've got 4 lives, so it's about as good as it's going to get. I've had a couple of attempts and not done very well. I've had numerous attempts at trying to get past the first level and not even getting past the first level because of that stupid trampoline, which is really hard to predict how that's going to work. So I know exactly what I've got to do here. All I've got to do is actually do it. Easier said than done. But I'm off to a reasonable start. I've got my jug full of oil. Just need to drop the drops in just the right place. And then run back to a safe-ish spot. It's gone very sluggish now. I think when you've got a lot of moving conveyor belts, it makes it a little bit sluggish, but there you go. So I've completed about half the car. Can't remember if I mentioned it, but it is a bit weird that the car is just not there to start with, and you have to wait for the oil drops to colour it in. But there you go. So I think that's enough to complete the car. Just have to hope they get down there before I get killed. Yeah, I've done it. There we go. So this is as far as I've ever got in the game now. That went amazingly well. What have I got to do here? Well, firstly I've got to get over to... Oh, we've got trampolines, we've got moving platforms. This is a little bit different because the platform's just cycling from side to side. Yeah. What happens here? Can I walk past this? I can. Okay. So the obvious thing to do is drop. No, I've run into my own. Yeah. So I've got to stand on the edge of this platform here and drop the oil in without actually walking onto the platform. Oh, I managed to do it, but then I walked into it on the other side. Or did I walk into a bad guy then? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, we've got a lot to keep an eye on here. No, I've died again. Let's go back to the top. I haven't even got anywhere near the high score I got the first time around. That's because I haven't collected any of those tools. So clearly the key to getting a big score is to collect those tools, but I really haven't got time to be messing around with stuff like that with all these guys bouncing around all over the place. Try and take those out. Give me a little bit of leeway, hopefully. And then just got to gently walk across the side here, drop the oil in. That might be enough to complete it. It is. Oh, this is as far as I've got. It's tense. I've got 1 life left. I don't know what's going on. How do I even get out of this? Oh, I just walk across here. Up to the top. So the difficulty does seem to vary from one level to another. That was handy. Just in the nick of time. So okay. There's all kinds of crazy stuff going on here. You've clearly got to maneuver onto those platforms to drop the oil down that grid hole between the two trampolines. I can't see how I'm ever going to be able to manage this, but so if I jump up here, no, okay, and then drop the oil down, no, and I'm dead. I've sort of got the idea of what I was supposed to do, but that suddenly got very hard. So while I talk about this game, I'm just going to go into the training mode. So you press T for training and level 1, I guess, which just shows you basically some really hard levels to try. I've just picked up a... Yeah, that's going to kill me straight away if I'm not careful. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, for some reason they think training, the best way to do training is to go to one of the hardest levels and try and get through that. Which just seems like a very difficult proposition. I can't even work out. Okay, yeah. So this introduces another kind of thing, which is a kind of moving platform that goes down. Oh yeah, I should have gone up. Yeah, I can't go up there. But yeah. So anyway, this game, it's hard and it's very erratic. The collision detection is not the best, but I do like the concept of it. There's some interesting ideas, some very fiendish level design, and lots of things chasing me around that I can't escape from. But yeah, it's a little bit glitchy in places. It's quite annoying at times, but there are some interesting concepts at work, and it is certainly original. The graphics are very basic. The animation is a bit flaky at times. The colours go all over the place at times as well. But despite all that, it has got some redeeming and interesting qualities to it. So will I ever play it again? Oh, you get things like that happening where things appear from nowhere and kill you. Would I ever play it again? Would I ever load it up again? Probably not, but it was an interesting thing to have a look at. Oh no, that's not good either. There goes another life. And this is just a training mode. This isn't even a proper game. You get no score, and for some reason they think, oh, you might want to practice level I. It'd be nice if the train mode actually allowed you to pick which level you wanted to start on, rather than just put you immediately on level I. But there we go. No, I've still got a life left. Just to show you, I was just going to show you what the other training level is, which is I think level S or something like that. So obviously the idea of it is that you go further into the game and try out the later levels, but being able to actually pick which level would have been a nice touch. I need one of these to come down here now. I need both of them to come down. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. Finally I could go and start completing the car. That was a lot of effort to just do that, wasn't it? So yeah, overall I think, as I say, quite an interesting game. Not one I'll probably ever play before, but I'll definitely be keeping it because I'm building that collection of MSX bug bite games, which are presumably probably all... Why did I do that? I've just gone and taken that all the way back and dropped it on the thing. All ports of Spectrum games, I suspect, but since I don't have a Spectrum and I've never had one, then this is a chance to play a few games that perhaps I wouldn't ordinarily play because there's no Commodore 64 versions of them. Although, having said that, two of the games in this range are Olay, also known as Raging Beast, and also Chicken Chase, which I have played the Commodore 64 versions of, so it'll be interesting to see how they compare. So yeah, after all that, I have actually finally got to the next stage, which again is more of the same, but very complicated. Some very fiendish level designs, and the enemies are particularly annoying in the game. But yeah, it's quite interesting. I was gonna, like, on the basis of dying, go and show what happens with the other training mode, but I'm actually doing alright here now, and ended up playing more of a game. Can I not walk across the ground there? No, I can't. Ooh, that's fiendish. How do I get those to there? I've got no idea. Did you drop them here? No, I'm dead now. So yeah, just quickly, just to round things off, because I've already been going way too long in this already. Back to the training mode, level 2. Put you on level S. Look at the state of this. Yeah, no idea, but all I can say is I'm not going to last very long here. So I don't even know what do you do? You've got to use the trampolines to get yourself over to the right hand side, get the oil, and then get over to the left hand side on a number of very small platforms, it looks like. Anyway, that'll do for this one. Let's move on now and spin the wheel for the next game, which I will be playing in this series. So let's spin it now. while this is going on in the background, and you'll see that I am going to be playing next time around WWF Royal Rumble on the Sega Mega Drive. That's a game I've not played for a very long time, so I'll be loading that up next time around, of course. That's all for this one. If you've got any thoughts about this game, then let me know in the video comments, and I'll see you next time around. Thanks very much for watching, and until the next time, as I just said, see ya.